they're very similar to each other, chat. Like, the thing that always bothered me about the original DualShocks is that they were so light. It was like I can crush them. Like, it was like a baby, and I could just very easy, so light. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch, where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. We can go ahead and we can start with these questions. As I said, I'm going to read these in the order at which I have received them. And it's funny, Duck and Henry, you donating. You are the first person whose questions I will read. Let's go ahead and get into it, chat. Okay. Hey there, Chris. Sorry, I should refer to your new title. Good day, Juice of Earl. I wanted to be Baron Herman, but I'm not. I'm Juice of Earl. Fair enough. I'll take it. I only have one question for you on this day, but it's a doozy and it comes in parts. It's multiple questions, but that's fine. Question. You, like myself, are a millennial and proud of it, goddammit, and have seen the rapid progression in technology we have experienced. True. I remember when, like, my family got our first computer, and now we all have, like, our phones are fucking computers. It's been pretty crazy, like, what's happened the last 20 years. The innovation's pretty incredible. Whether it be music, television, the internet, film, and games, we have seen so much improve and so much change. However, recently over the past decade in the game industry, I feel there's been a lot of stagnation. The most recent consoles which have come out do not feel like much of a jump even from the PS3, Xbox 360 days, in my opinion. Many major game companies are spinning their wheels with sequels which look like reskins. Do you feel this sense of stagnation? If so, does it feel like this is changing at all or the new normal? You know, I will push back and just say I feel like we have seen a jump between the Xbox 360, PS3, and Xbox One to PS4. I felt like there was definitely a jump graphically, load times, kind of across the board with those from those consoles. Now, I think there has definitely been less of a jump where I think there was a significant jump from the Xbox 360, PS3 era to Xbox One, PS4 era. I feel like there is definitely less of a jump, especially graphically, I suppose, to Xbox One, PS4 to Xbox Series whatever / PS5. I feel like that's the case. And maybe I don't really have the best eye for it because everyone's like 4K and things and 1080, but then you got things between 1080 and 4K, so it's not exactly 4K, and it's like, okay, so what is it really? You know, but I will say one thing I have certainly noticed is the load times is vastly different between, like, say, a PS4 and a PS5, you know, or an Xbox One or a PS, what have you, Chad, like those last-gen consoles. And, like, a great example that I could just think of recently, I played the game, oh, shit, what was it? It was that, fuck, I played so much of it, I remember the name of the game. Didn't make my best of list, but I still enjoy it. It was that Gears of War-esque sci-fi game where you got fantastical powers and things. Where, what was that fucking, I don't remember. What was that game called? Help me out here, Chad. It's a live service game. I'm trying to remember for the life of me. But, Outriders, that's it. Thank you, Queen. Outriders. I was like, it has some generic name. Outriders. I liked it. I liked it a lot. You know, I just had a few issues with it. You know, got a little grindy. I would have liked more to do with the characters, that kind of thing. But I liked it. I thought it had a good, solid, very solid gameplay. You know, I like third-person shooters. But I noticed, like, the load times for the Xbox One were egregious. However, if you played that game on Xbox Series X or a PS5, nothing. There were no load times. That was fucking nuts. So there has been changes in that regard. But I think graphically, for the most part, there seems to be little. And again, I don't have the best eye for it. But there doesn't seem to be, like, too much of an improvement unless you have, like, a 4K screen or something, which not everyone does. Most people do not have a 4K screen in their home. I mean, eventually I imagine people will when they become less expensive. But in that regard, yeah, I do feel like there's less of a jump between the past generation and this generation. And more people could probably on a technical level can speak about this and say, like, well, no, there is a significant jump for this reason, that reason, and you know, whatever the other reason is. And, you know, feel free to do so. KC with the new CPUs from AMD and Intel's Rocket Lake are just for, I mean, there's new stuff for, like, PCs. There's definitely more advanced. It's always going to be more advanced than whatever the consoles are going to be. There's no doubt about that. But you continue on. You ask also, what fresh innovations are you seeing in the game industry that are you happy about? I mean, cloud gaming, consistent. I love cloud gaming, streaming, and digital distribution. I mean, these things have been around for like I'd say like the past decade, but we're really seeing a lot of focus on these several things, especially from a company like Microsoft and leaning into Game Pass and making it more convenient, making it consumer friendly. I mean that's been amazing for me, and I feel like that's an innovation that almost feels like, oh, maybe it's partly inspired by Steam and what Valve has done, but now we're going to offer literally as a service, so you don't have to buy every individual game, just be a part of the subscription service, and you have access to this catalog. And Microsoft, as we've seen recently, has been acquiring all of these different publishers and developers and expanding that catalog and making the streaming, the digital distribution, and the cloud gaming a lot easier. And for someone who is a content creator, someone who is a streamer and has to pay for all this stuff, it makes it easier for me. So that's been awesome to see. Just those several things. So cloud gaming, streaming, digital distribution, I think we're going to see more focus on this and continue to proliferate as we go on, whether it be from just Microsoft. But I think Sony's going to be like, oh, shit, okay, we got to really, get a renewed focus on this, since Microsoft is clearly leading in this vein. And this is your next question. What would you like to see? What are you expecting, and what are you dreading? Couple things. Colonel Useless, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well. Cloud gaming, the convenience is a good point. But yeah, I think that's made it easier for me, and I think a lot of gamers too. But I'm sorry, to your question, what would you like to see? What are you expecting, and what are you dreading? You know, what would I like to see? I want VR to evolve past being a gimmick and into being a natural and accessible piece of hardware that is synonymous as a controller to a console is. That's what it needs to be. VR needs to stop being this kind of like, oh, VR, like, whoa. No, it has to be. I think it really needs to become a natural part of the gaming vernacular, but you have to stop producing games that are just kind of like these 45-minute demos, these 1-hour gimmicks that's like, okay, you're doing something simplistic. We need things like Half-Life Alyx. That's what it needs to push it forward, because we don't get more games like that. Those big AAA releases, I'm not even saying that they all have to be tied to a franchise. That will help, but you need more robust experiences like that with VR. I'm not even talking ports or anything like, no, made from the ground up. This is a VR game. This is a robust experience that is however many, 12 hours, let's say, and you're going to play it that way. That's how it has to be. You have to have a VR. That's the only way it's going to evolve and proliferate. You need stuff like that, and I think Valve is going to be the leader on this. I think Half-Life 3 is going to be a VR game. You have to play exclusively with Valve's setup. I think that's what's going to happen. So I would like VR to, because I want to be able to play VR games, but I need more incentive, and that's the only incentive is if you continue to publish and develop software on it. I'm not talking gimmicky software. No, robust, long-form AAA software. It's what we all need right now. Some things that I'm worried about in terms of what I'm expecting and dreading. So that, what I would like to see and what I'm expecting, I think VR is going to move past being a gimmick, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a lot of blunt, just force trying to get these big games in here, get people to play them. But I think that will inevitably happen. But the thing that I'm dreading, and we've seen it, is just continued monetization. The battle pass system, live service games. I mean, a lot of companies and publishers and developers have seen great success with that kind of model. There's no doubt about that. I am not a fan, and I've noticed it just kind of infecting other franchises that I've loved. Like Halo has a battle pass system. It's like, fuck yes, you don't have to pay into it, nor will I. But it's just denying, it's denying me as someone who used to play a lot of Halo back in the multiplayer wise and be able to unlock all these armors, put in my character. Now I can't because of these battle passes, because I have to pay for it. And so it's like, shit. And so we're going to see this continued monetization, battle passes, and all these other things creeping in the franchises, and just the live service model is being, added on to other long existing franchises, never had it before. Ubisoft is god damn it, they're always championing. Everything's a live service game with them. Open world live service game. And I think that is incredibly frustrating. And it takes away a lot of the fun, especially from those franchises that I've just kind of abandoned. I used to love, but I just don't care about this anymore because of how you force these things into, and you don't make, it's not a fun, for me, it's not a fun gameplay experience. So But yeah, that's pretty much just how I feel about at least some of the things that you brought up in terms of the games and how I see things changing or not changing over time. But yeah, I will say overall, I feel like this generation jump is not as significant as something like the Xbox 360 PS3 jump to PS4 Xbox One, where I did notice, whereas this one is less so. And maybe in small subtle ways, like load times, I definitely knew, I was like, okay, load time's cool, you're much faster. But yeah, not graphically, nothing I know, at least with my eye. My bad, derpy right eye. Chris, yeah, so we'll be playing some Among Us later. Indeed, Colonel Eustace. That should be fun. It'll be a good time. All right. Oh, VR could be accessible with Meta and their metaverse shit. Really, I'm very curious about that. The whole metaverse thing. I didn't play the Matrix demo. I think I was initially interested, but I saw the movie and I was like, I had no interest in it. I still haven't played the Matrix demo. I think I might check it out, but I keep fucking forgetting about it. And I was like, oh yeah, Matrix demo, yeah. One day, chat. One day I'll check it out. But this is Stefan's lesson. Thank you as always for taking the time to answer questions, good sir. May your glass of class stay ever full with sass for your ass. Indeed, Stefan Duckhenry. Cheers and salute to you. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to the Patreon, man. But now, chat, what about you? That's a good question. I mean, how are you guys feeling about the state of the video game industry right now? Do you feel like, for those of you who are console players, did you feel like there was a significant jump between the Xbox One, PS4 to PS5 / Xbox Series, SX? I'm curious. Could use this probably sometime this week. I want to we can talk again. I want to institute some of those suggestions for the Discord. I think that could possibly be fun. Lisa, good to see you. Heart hands, Lisa. Welcome to stream. I did the PS4. Oh, the PS5 controller. Now, I will say this. That's a good point you bring up. The PS5 controller, I think, is the absolute best controller Sony has ever made. I've never been a big DualShock fan, but this thing is just slowly becoming an Xbox controller. That's what this is. It just doesn't have the asymmetry like the Xbox controller does, as you see right here. But, I mean, look at them. They're very similar to each other, chat. Like, the thing that always bothered me about the original DualShocks is that they were so light. It was like I can crush them. Like, it was like a baby, and I could just very easy, so light. Nothing to it, no heft. This is a thick fucking controller, chat. There's a lot of thickness right here. It's got some curves to it, and I like it. I feel this is the best controller they've ever made. I really like it. And they get better with every generation. That so far is the best one that they've made. You can bludgeon someone to death with that, but still, it fits in your hand very well. I like that combination, shit. Able to bludgeon, but also able to play video games. It's not too thick, not like the Duke, not like the original Xbox Duke. That thing was a fucking monster. This is like, no, this is nice. This is workable. This is workable, chat. Let's see what you guys are saying right now. I'm curious. Lisa, we're just talking about the state of the gaming industry, specifically kind of like the console differences and whether there's been a true leap in technology, if we notice it, at the very least. More like that. Honestly, I asked why there was even a PS5 Xbox Series X out of the PS4 Pro, Xbox One X. There you go, from the Elite. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Crispy Computer Fish saying hello to everybody. Very nice. Always a pleasure to have here, Lorenzo. Let's see. My PS5 doesn't sound like a jet engine like previous generations. Less noise. That's true. That thing doesn't make any goddamn noise. From the neighbors is a huge W. Oh my god. Like they were complaining about the fan in your PS4? Jesus. That's nuts. The haptic triggers. Love those haptic triggers. Most of the improvements for consoles have been graphics and frame rate, says M. Xavier. The DualShock Samir is much better. Oh, yeah, much better grip. Much better grip. Yeah, it's the thickness, man. You can get your hands in there. I love it. Microsoft was talking about steel. I think we're going to see a scummier and scummier business practices in the video game industry unless those practices become illegal. That's why people are concerned about the monopoly that Microsoft might have. Yes, they're being consumer friendly right now, but what if they stop being so because they end up being number one again ahead of Sony? True. It's a good bludgeoner, KC. Doug Henry, many games of the PS4 or Xbox One do not take full advantage of the hardware. There aren't many God of Wars or less. True. Very much so. Nor do they necessarily need to be. But I see your point. I think DualShock for the PS5 is a game. It's a hell of a game. It's a good controller. I forgot to mention the controller. The controller is excellent. That is a very good. That's a very good control. I don't know. I don't like the buttons. The only thing I can criticize about the PS5 controller, because it's very good, is like these buttons, whatever the fuck these are, like start, select. What is this? That has 3 vertical lines. This has 3 horizontal lines. What the hell? What does that mean? I know they have names, but I was like, what? Just start and select. Keep it simple. All right. I don't understand it. And the new Xbox Series Extra is pretty much the same thing with Xbox One. Yeah, very similar design. There you go. That's not much of innovation. I want to see John Wick kill someone. Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. He could do it. He could do it. I'm sorry, but Hot Osborne, of course, man. I was doing that on my audio video commentary. Microsoft didn't make many changes with the Xbox Series X input controller. It's the same thing with the middle button being the exception. Have you been on for a while? Yeah. Sadly, I've been on for about just under an hour, 55 minutes now, and the notification system on Twitch is a mess. I mean, YouTube's fucking up because my videos on my new YouTube channel, they're not showing up on the homepage, and it's very frustrating because it's out of my hands, chat. But yeah, don't rely on the notification system with Twitch, chat. I usually like to post at least an hour or half hour beforehand on my social media when I'm going to stream, so feel free to just keep an eye on that, Lisa. I usually post on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. What I'm going to be doing. I'm soon, chat, TikTok. I will soon have a TikTok. I was doing some investigating into that, chat. Setting up a TikTok so I can post some of my clips and stuff. But then I ran into this YouTube situation today, which is very frustrating. But we'll figure it out soon. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's going to follow example when Microsoft meet up other video games. That'd be interesting. I don't know. Like, Avocado, what publisher could I see Sony going after? Like, I'm not sure. I could see Sony, like, acquiring the licenses to, Konami, if they can buy them from Konami, like Metal Gear and Castlevania and Silent Hill. I could see that happening. It's like, ooh, shit, now you can only play these if you have to be on a Sony system. Eventually come to PC much later, but I could see something like that, like them doing it, but I don't know. Making the same moves that Microsoft did? I'm not sure. Open world games need to step up, in your opinion, Duncan? Agreed. Yeah, there's been a lot of disappointing open world games show over the last few years. They're just boring to me. They're repetitive. So the facade modern game is about reinventing the wheel. Yeah, man. Putting some bling on that wheel. The girls need share buttons cause social medias. Oh, Lordy. At least I got all 3 YouTube. Yay! All the YouTube notifications. Nice. What's YouTube? JPiz, I have 2 YouTube channels. Geez, Chris, you ever stop working? No, man, I am in the rat race, okay? I got to beat the rat race. I got to do it. I do have 2 YouTube channels now, in case you guys are wondering. I have my first one right here, which is, Alex Pennell's been doing a fantastic job. It's uploading all my my previous recorded content from my Twitch streams. Also other stuff like my Discord discourses, and making some of my video and audio commentaries free on this chat for my Patreon. If you guys would subscribe to that, I'll go ahead and shoot you over a link right now. And I also have a new YouTube channel, but for whatever reason, I don't understand it, chat. The videos are not showing up on the homepage. I don't get it. Like like a featured video is able to be shown, but not the full list of videos. And so I don't know what's going on with that. But if you want, that's all my clips. That's my clips and clip compilations and movie review scenes. It's pretty fun stuff. But for whatever reason, YouTube is messing up. I don't know. It's not on my end. Yeah, so Alex Bernal and I are just trying to figure this out. I think we'll get it figured out. But yeah, if you want to subscribe to that one, that is there. Oh, Smashly, witness me, Smashly. Thank you so much for that very kind raid. An absolute pleasure to have you. Who's here, Chad? Jay Harper, good to see you. Trap Shot, and hey, Trace, my May. Thank you for the Smashly raid. How you doing? What were you streaming today? Hi.
You're a mean one. Mr. Grinch, you really are a heel.
Thank you, the kid Marley. Good to see him, and Rat Chase on 90. Thank you for the smash leader. I am witnessing you. Oh, and Rat Chase on 90. Thank you so much for the follow. You're my new Huckleberry, my new Grinch. Do you change your name? No, I'm still Mr. Revan 7 as far as I know. I think I stream another channel, so I think that's what you might be asking. So I stream on this is my regular Twitch channel, and then I stream on another channel called Double Toasted. It's an entertainment company that I work for. Mostly we focus on movie reviews and television, pop culture, that kind of thing. video games occasionally. And so, yeah, I stream on 2 different channels. Yeah, it's currently useless. Twitch's view. I offered you friendship, and you spat in my face. Well, YouTube's not working out for me either. I should have joined the Goblin Chat. Yes. Ooh, a new channel. When did this yummiest happen? Actually, it was announced yesterday on Friday. But for whatever reason, we're dealing with a little technical issue, and I don't know how to solve it. And it might be just YouTube. People were telling me that it was there's something going on with YouTube, so we'll see. Yeah, I clicked the videos tab. So the videos tab has the 7 videos up there, but they're not showing up on the home page. And they should be there. They should be there. What's the issue? YouTube issue where I have a new YouTube channel where it's hosting all my clips. And I set it up to have all the playlists on the, on the homepage, but they're not showing up there. So, I think it will be. No, it will be. I just need to give it also some breathing room from the other original channel. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. Vision79, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But no, thank you again, Smashly. That's why, well, either way, glad to see you too, Smashly. I'm sorry, I'm just talking about YouTube problems, but it was just weird. It's been on my mind today. What were you playing? What were you doing? What's on your docket? This is just, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris, Mr. Evan7. I'm a variety streamer. I play video games, single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, tune reviews, TV reviews, all sorts of stuff, watch parties. I'm a renaissance man of streaming, if you will, trying to do as much as possible. Wide variety of content. So if you don't like something, you might like this other thing I do. Posture Chris Divas guy? True, I am. I'm a stinker. Chris, have you heard of the anime called Chainsaw Man? I've not. It's not out yet, but the trailer looks good. I have not seen Chainsaw Man. No. I've got I imagine Sony eating up Capcom or Bandai. I could see that. Capcom is nearly worth $4 billion, and Bandai is close to 6.8. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, mostly it's on YouTube side. Don't trouble your mind about. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think that's what it is because it's like, okay, nothing I'm doing is wrong. Nothing. Yeah, Alex Bernal is set up is wrong. So I think that's the case. It's a YouTube issue. So hopefully it'll work itself out. It just sucks. It's a new channel. I'm trying my best, everybody. But we'll see. I'll keep an eye out if it persists, and I'll see what we can do. Maybe anyone else is having the issues right now. But I'm doing this as a Q&A series I do every Saturday. It's called Class in the Glass, Cast for Aspin of Sass, where I read my very generous patrons' Patreon questions, provide them with thick, girthy, well-endowed answers. Not just yes, no, or maybe. Thick, girthy, well-endowed, robust answers. It'll be fun. Capcom has been working closely with Sony in regards to things like Street Fighter. That's true. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, maybe. Now that one I could picture. Yeah, so that's what I mean. They lost Japanese markets. So they might pump more money to get it back. I don't know. We're very interested to see what's going to happen this year. Ever since that was a hell of a fucking a story to start off with, chat, with Microsoft acquisitioning Activision. So we'll see how it continues to evolve. But we're going to go ahead and again, chat. Please do check out Smashly Gaming. Give her some support. Follow, subscribe to her, donate to her. She was so kind to share her community with ours. Least I can do is to give her support as well. Thank you, Smashly. Thank you for bringing all your kind people over here. Thank you again to Hey Tracy May, Rat Chase on, the Kid Marley for the follows as well. Hope to see you whenever you're here. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question, chat. Thank you again, Stefan, Duck, and Henry, for your questions. And now, chat, ooh-wee.
It's a Grinch.
Trap Shot, thank you for the follow.
Really are a hero.
Thank you so much. You're my new Huckleberry. You're my new Grinch. It's a pleasure to have you here. You also get to witness the Christmas alerts for the last time, the Christmas holiday alerts, before I retire them till December 1st. A pleasure to have you here. But we're going to go ahead. And we're going to jump into Vanisphere's questions. Chef Vanny does a lot of theme questions, which I really like. For this week's questions, let's go with one of the most stylish games from last-gen consoles, Persona 5, chat. Movie question. The events of Persona 5 take place over the course of a school year. There have been so many amazing films that follow a similar setting, like The Paper Chase, Dead Poet Society, and the Harry Potter series. What is your favorite film set in a school? As a follow-up question, was there a teacher in that film that you wish taught a class you were in? There's a lot of great films and just cinema in general that are set in school. I mean, that is it's an informative part of one's life. You know, when they're struggling to find out who they are, and they don't necessarily figure that out even by the time you're out of school, out of high school. A lot of people think like their lives are going to be ruined. It's the end of your life, and high school is the most miserable time, but there's so much life afterwards, chat. But because we're kids, because we're stupid, we don't realize these things, and we realize, oh shit, there's so much more to life outside high school. But it is a time period in which filmmakers do like to focus on. Because it can be difficult, it can be sad, and we're all fucking hormonal. Obviously we're all horny and we're angry and we're sad. We don't know why. It's because all the changes, chat. We're going through the changes. But it's an interesting time period, especially for films. And there are several movies that I can think of. I mean, you gotta go to John Hughes, of course. Breakfast Club and, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I think, are two perfect high school movies. He's done other things, of course, like 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink. But Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, in terms of the high school experience, like, yes, he was able to perfectly convey what the high school teenage experience was in the 1980s so well. It's like there are things that may be dated about those movies now, but certain things in those films that he's commenting on still hold true. We've just gone through those same exact things that all these kids have gone through, whether it be bullying or abuse at home or living up to unreasonable expectations of teachers or of family members, of parents. And I love that those movie showcases that. And like, the first is, Breakfast Club, it's for the most part, it takes place in a school. It takes place in a room, and it's just relying on that dialogue and those actors' charisma, and they nail it. And I love that. And they really got to the nitty-gritty of what defines the high school experience, I think, for a lot of people across a board. For the the cheerleader, for the jock, for the the bad boy, the nerd, the freak, if you will. I really liked it. It went into those details. Oh, yes, and, some Spider-Man movies are able to capture teen awkwardness pretty well. Yeah, I think so. I think those Holland films did a pretty good job. Definitely, especially Homecoming, where it was really all about a high school setting. And not like in the Raimi films where it's like, what are all these 45-year-old men and women doing in high school? This is inappropriate. Get off the school bus, Peter. You shouldn't be here. Matter of fact, everyone get off the bus. You're too old for this. Flash Toms, they have Joe Manganiello as a teenager. He looks like he's 35 years old in that movie. The teacher they go on the school trip with, when they go to the most advanced microscope in the world, he's the youngest person among his class. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Doesn't make sense. A couple other ones, too. I mean, I said Breakfast Club. I said Ferris Bueller's Life, which almost feels like a rejection. Ferris almost feels like a rejection of the high school experience. Like, that's the movie where it's all about life outside of high school and how you could do that much, how you can learn so much about yourself outside of that environment. Ferris chooses to do that. He's like, fucking high school. It's the worst, as he says at the beginning of the film. Let's have an adventure. Let's go through these experiences, these trials and tribulations, and how fun it is. And yeah, I think both of those films represent something really unique. And it's the what you have to deal with when you get into high school, and what you do, what the adventures you can go on when you're outside of it. That there is freedom. There is freedom out there. I think that's really cool. Some other ones, chat. Dead Poets Society, and that's a unique one because I think it takes place like I'm trying to remember, like the 1960s. I think it was like the early 1960s or maybe late 1950s. But it's like at this all boys private school, Catholic private school, I want to say. And it follows this one particular class with like a number of like super young, well-known actors that we know today. Like you have Ethan Hawke. We have baby-faced Ethan Hawke in that movie. And he plays a student who is super shy and he's awkward and he doesn't really have a lot of self-confidence. But in this class, and there's some other actors in there too, I want to say. But we get this teacher in Robin Williams, John Keating, who is this English lit teacher, poetry teacher, and he brings out this confidence in all these students and ignites their passion for the arts, whereas their parents are like, you go to school to be an engineer, that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do in life, and then you're going to get in college. And, he's offering them, different opportunities. And there are, his teaching style, he's the kind, this is part of the question, that Vanny's asking, as Falco, was there a teacher in that film that wished you taught a class you in that one? He totally. That is one of Robin Williams's absolute best roles in that film, and how he brings out these young men, brings them out of their shells and shows them there's more to life than what your parents are telling you or what other teachers are telling you. You can pursue all sorts of things, and it's really refreshing and fun. That's what kids I think need in school too. Instead of just because we're all fucking we're all screaming, we're all horny, we're all hormonal, we're all mad, and like we need someone to show us like it's to be not so regimented. And he did that. There's a wonderful scene in the film where Ethan Hawke's character, he is like, I don't understand poetry, and he had an assignment to write a poem, and he didn't know how. And Robin Williams like, all right, we're gonna write a poem right now, right here in the class. He's like, we're gonna do it right now, and they do this, and where he's gonna cover his eyes. And he says, just ignore, because all the kids are laughing. He said, don't even look at him. Don't even pay attention to him. Hear my voice. And they do this whole thing where they start moving around so he doesn't feel like so awkward just standing. Like, no, move around the room. And he's covering his eyes like that. And he comes up with this really imaginative poem, and he's crying by the end of it. And he says, and there you go. That's poetry. That's English. That's literature. That what you just did. And it's an amazing fucking scene. I would show it to you right now, but it's so emotional. That's one of those makes you cry. That's the one you're gonna fucking cry during that scene. I feel like we've all had that dealing with that awkwardness, dealing with that shyness, and then you have someone who just so thoroughly believes in you and is able to get something beautiful out of you because you're capable of that. That's a beautiful scene. It's a beautiful movie. It's sad though. It's sad and it's fucking. Yeah, I mean, ending's rough, but it's a great film. And he is definitely he's one of the, we all need a John Keating in our live chat. We all need that. Luke, thank you for 3 days. Even when I was in high school, I couldn't relate to typical high school movies. Like I want high stakes high school films. Now, does he or she like me? My BF girlfriend is jealous of this person I'm talking to. But no, I mean, and that's why I encourage you, Luke. Watch some of these. Watch Breakfast Club or Dead Poets. What? I don't know if you've ever seen Dead Poets Society. I think you might like that. Because it's not really about, like, will this girl like me? I mean, there's some of that in there, but that's not the focus. That's not the focus. It's really about how learning can be fun and dynamic and interesting and not always by the book. And you can expand your mind. And I think that's what Dead Poets Society is truly about. It's not really even about English literature. That's just used as the vessel to help these kids find themselves and to be more than what they're told to do from the beginning, which I think is really cool. Find your own destiny. Find your own path, chat. Exactly. We need someone to help us be outside of the regimen. Exactly. It is a rough ending and yet wonderful. Yeah, it is. No, it is. Yeah, but you're right. It's a rough ending. Alec, what I love about Dead Poets Society is the kids aren't cliche or incompetent. Like, no, they're not. They're just kids. They're flawed, obviously, and they're selfish and they don't know what to do. They're still learning about life. And you need someone who can relate to a child in that way, or a high school student or a young adult in that way, and not just treat them like, you're a brain, I'm going to fill you with knowledge. It's not about that. Don't treat them like a machine. And that's what Rob Williams doesn't do. He doesn't treat like the children like a machine in that movie. He doesn't treat them like a number, which is so often is the case in a lot of schools. That's the American education system. Yeah. No, there's some, I don't want to spoil the movie for you. You haven't seen it yet, but it's a really beautiful film, and it features great performances across the board. A very young babyface Ethan Hawke, and a great performance by Robin Williams. But yeah, moving on from that, there's some other ones too that I really like. I mean, I think it was mentioned in the chat already, but Booksmart. Booksmart is great with Caitlin Dever, and I always forget her name, but she's Jonah Hill's sister, his little sister, and that's just a great, like, R-rated high school dramedy, if you will. Where you have these two young women who have done everything that they're supposed to. They followed the regimen, and they did all this learning. They never had fun in high school, and it's all to get into their favorite college. But they learned that all the kids that also, went to their high school and just kind of lackadaisical and laid back and had fun too, along with studying, they got in the same college. They're like, what the fuck? And so they tried to spend, their final few days of high school indulging all the things that they missed, which I think was pretty funny. It's a great little movie, chat. Highly recommend. Beanie Feldstein. I never remember her name. Because Jonah Hill's real name is Feldstein. That's right. Beanie Feldstein. Thank you. Thank you. I have seen Freaks and Geeks. Yes, I have seen Freaks and Geeks. I liked it. Very good. Should not have been canceled. Public schools are crazy, antiquated, and yet they still have 90. Yeah, yep, 100%. 100%. Yeah, Olivia Wilde directed. That's right, Coinsta. Good to see you, by the way. Hope you're doing well. They'll be just seeing the car of Jason gets. Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, if you guys have not seen Booksmart, that was 2019. That was one. I don't think I even had that on my top 10 list, but that was a great fucking movie. Booksmart, chat. Here, I'll for those of you who don't know, you guys will love this movie. Here, I'll link you the YouTube trailer for Booksmart. What I can do, we can actually watch the trailer now. Let me get that Booksmart trailer, chat. You can also watch the first 6 minutes uncut on YouTube if you want to check it out that way. But here, if you have guys never seen Booksmart, watch the trailer. That's what we'll do. Yeah, this came out in 2019, which was, again, there's my man, Hercule Poirot. I love that man, chat. Mm-hmm. No, that's kind of brown bullshit. Give me David Suquette. But I'm going to show you the trailer for Booksmart if you've never seen it, because it is excellent. And it's a very good movie. God damn ads. Goddamn ads, chat. Always affecting my streams. With my ads, not getting any of that goddamn ad money, chat. Thank you, Luke the Boss. Timmy, read your comment in just a second. Just getting this all set up. I like Stream because even though they were obviously older, was that they were speaking on an intellectual. No, they were. No, those are kids that they're like, oh shit. They're like, yes, it's dated to a degree now, but they felt like kids. They're speaking of intellectual. I wish all high school students could talk on. I mean, I used to try and have deep convos with my friends, and they were basically like, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck." No, I think that was a very realistic thing that Scream did. Because yeah, kids are like that. They can have those conversations. They can be smart. They can be quick. Not always thinking about just sex and shit. That was cool. All right, here we go.
For 2 years and you.
Here we go. Here's the trailer, chat. Booksmart.
You've been out for 2 years and you've never kissed a girl.
I really don't know what I'm doing with all that stuff.
I have a secret for you. I once tried to masturbate with an electric toothbrush, but I got a horrible UTI.
Yeah.
Like, horrible.
I wish that would have been a secret, but you've mentioned it many, many times.
Oh, Casper, you'd love it.
Are we gonna go to school or?
What's 2 + 2?
Isn't it crazy that it's the last day of school? Are you kidding me, Samantha?
She's got a really cute smile.
Go talk to her. Oh, sorry. Sharp elbows. Not as sharp as your chin.
What?
It's the last day. We got you through high school.
I need to go over the end of the year budget numbers.
Can't we just graduate, head off to college? That should do it, right?
We will persist.
I can't hear you. I can't soundproof glass.
We have to go to a party tonight.
Oh, you guys gotta check this out.
That we are fun. We didn't party because we wanted to focus on school and get into good colleges.
And it worked.
But the irresponsible people who partied.
Yeah, see, they also got into the same colleges.
I'm incredible at hand jobs, but I also got a 1560 on the SATs.
Good. It's pretty fun.
We
Good.
haven't done anything. We haven't
Renaissance
broken any
woman.
rules.
Name one person whose life was so much better because they broke a couple of rules.
Picasso.
He broke art rules.
Rosa Parks.
Name another one.
Susan B. Anthony.
God damn it.
Put me to your lips.
Hand sanitizer.
Check.
Chapstick.
Check.
Mace. Listen, it is very important that you keep the safe.
There's something on! Don't touch your eyes!
Tonight is your night.
0 Fs.
What is this? We asked the questions. Oh my God. How old are you? Does not matter.
Well, it seems excessive. Shotgun. Just kidding. I don't have one.
Don't
There you
say
go,
we're
Jeff.
having a date night.
Why?
It's on Hulu right now. There you go.
What you two have is special.
We are going to show each other how much we care about each other.
We'll probably just do a Korean face mask.
I don't need to know all the words.
It is an excellent film. Great high school movie, chat. Really, really good. Really good. High recommend. If it's on Hulu right now, then watch it. It's a gem. This is one of those amazing movies I was talking about in 2019. What a hell of a year, chat. So good. But yeah, Booksmart, definitely one of my answers for obvious reasons, as you can see. But I did have a couple of more in terms of high school movies. And kind of similar to Booksmart in a way. Mean Girls. I own Mean Girls on Blu-ray, chat. It is amazing. It is fetch. It is so fetch, as we all know. Lindsay Lohan gives an incredible performance in that film, chat. She's just goddamn adorable in that movie. And just a great supporting cast as well. I mean, that was Tina Fey's baby. What she wrote the script. I think co-wrote along with I'm trying to think who her co-writer was, but she did an excellent job with that. Loved Mean Girls, and then the other one, chap, Harry Potter. Harry Potter, where it's like, yes, school, oh, it's so boring, and maths and sciences. But what if you went to a school and you learned magic, chat? Turns out it's just as boring as regular school. But you learn magic, though. You get to do something that's actually, hey, practical purposes of using magic in the real world. At least what they're teaching the fucking kids will be applicable to real-life scenarios, chat. Fighting, racist, Death Eaters and Voldemorts, if you will. He who shall not be named or whatever, who. Like, it was practical. It was very practical, which I like that, which you don't often could say it in school. Like, you learn a lot of practical stuff in real life. That movie, you do. That movie, you do, Chet. Oh, my Lord. Chris, how do I send you a question on Patreon? For all Revenite and Juicy Gangster subscribers, you can submit them when I have the... I make a post typically on the Discord. It is Submit Class in a Glass Questions Now post. I submitted that on January 20th, 2022. So I usually post like a few days beforehand. If you have the ability to access it at the Revenite or Juicy Gangster level, then you could submit questions. As simple as that. But Harry Potter. I want to learn magic and shit. That was so much fun, but apparently it was still stressful anyway for those students. But I have another part to this question that Vanny was asking me. So I already brought up John Keating, Rob Williams, John Keating from Dead Poets Society. The last person I would bring up who I wish would have been my teacher in a class or like throughout my entire life, and that's George Feeney, chat. Mr. Feeney. Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World, played by William Daniels, chat. That's... Come on. Everyone knows Mr. Feeney. He is one of the greatest. He is the greatest TV. Now, he's on the TV show, so I'm cheating a little bit with this. But, other than John Keating, we all needed a George Feeney in our life. We need Mr. Feeney. And he taught the Matthews boys. He taught Eric Matthews, taught Corey Matthews. He taught Hunter. He taught, Sean Hunter. Since middle school, high school, all the way into college. He raised those boys. Topanga as well, raised her too. All right, he's a beautiful man, a beautiful human being, and I love how that show ended. I talk about like favorite TV endings of all time, and it ends with him. He gets the last lines of the show because he was so important to it, where he says, "I love you all, class dismissed," and it's perfect. And he did not say that in a weird sexual pervy way. Okay, he said it like a grandfather, like a father looking at his children and being so proud of them. That's what it is, chat. Mr. Feeney, love Mr. Feeney. Goddamn right. So, chat, to reiterate, in terms of great high school movies I recommend you guys checking out or I relate to, you can find something in Breakfast Club, Dead Poet Society, Booksmart, Mean Girls, Harry Potter, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off if you want something that's kind of a rejection of the regimen of a high school. Find adventure. I think it was and, of course, Rob Williams, John Keating, and William Daniels, George Feeney as the best teachers across any medium, in my honest opinion, chat. Feeney. And now, what about you guys? Is there like a movie? Is there like a high school movie that really, there's a lot, there's a ton, some I haven't even watched, but that really appealed to you, that really spoke to you? It's like, oh shit, they totally understand what I'm going through and the experiences I went through, or, what have you. The darkness calls to me. Feeney allowed them to college. Yep, followed them all the way to college, which you think would be creepy, but it's not. It's wholesome. Breakfast Club and Ferris are two all-time high school greats. Agreed, Eddie, 100%. Carol, it's funny to watch high school films while being in high school. LOL. Oh yeah, that's true. It's like I'm all the craft. That it's a high school movie with Sydney, with Nev Campbell. Archie's in The Craft, right? By the way, fun fact, the actor that played the headmaster Nolan in Beverly was the oldest working actor in Hollywood. He died last. He was 106. Jesus, I know that guy. I didn't know he's still alive. He's old as fuck in that movie. Wow. Heather's from Carol, nice. Firewolf, not a movie, but I really relate to Glee. Oh, Glee Club, of course. Cassie at the beginning of Into the Spider-Verse resonated with me. Oh, sure. Oh, totally. Yeah, no, it's a good little, especially it's like, private high school and the expectations that Miles has on him and the overwhelming nature of it. Definitely. Because of that regimen, chat, that unhealthy regimen that they have in high school. Excuse me, not really, but I really like that movie Kids from 1999 because of how, oh, yeah. Yeah. I've been told to watch that. They preface it, it's fucked up. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Skeet Ulrich's in The Craft. Oh, I fucking forgot. He's in The Craft. Oh, yeah, Days Confused. Now looks at high school life in Texas, chat. Richard Linklater. That's a great one. You know what I love about high school girls? Older I get, and they stay the same age. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And they all look to Matthew McConaughey as this cool guy, but he's a fucking loser. He's a creepy fucking loser. Oh, my Lord. Woo, making some decaf coffee right now. Man, I'm drinking some regular coffee right now. Got to put a little pep in my step. Days Confused, I really like it because it captures the feeling of the night of a party. Oh, sure, night of a party, yeah. Yeah, no, drugs. That, too. Tokyo Drift. Yes, I can see that. They have fucking Lucas Black, that 35-year-old man in high school. Yeah, I forgot they had the whole high school angle with that. Oh, Lordy. Scream and The Faculty. I don't know, regular high school movies without some kind of life-threatening kind of conflict are boring to me, low. Except they are funny. Yeah, no, Scream and Faculty, yeah. I mean, we're talking about Scream. Scream is great. Scream is a very good high school movie. I have heard of that movie X. I saw it in front of Scream 2022. Looks like it can go either way. Either be like really creepy or possibly like, ooh, high. It's that kind of highfalutin or that, what am I thinking of? Shit. High elevator horror, as they call it. No, I couldn't think of the word. Elevator horror. We'll see. I really enjoyed Easy. Oh, Easy A is good. Easy A with Emma Stone is great. It covers the weird gray area of discussing growing sexuality of a person and the reception of the masses. Yeah, no, Easy A is, I think, kind of like an underrated high school film. That's a good one. Good choice. Hillary says high school. Yeah, it's true. They were racist in Tokyo Drift. You're right. That opening where they're like, Jesus Christ, ripping apart that Native American effigy. It's like, oh my God. I was like, well, yeah, guess. I mean, they're not wrong. Mayor Graffiti is a perfect comedy that catches the feeling of trying to get that last big night before you and your friends go separate. Yeah, it's true. George Lucas, Mayor Graffiti, before he did Star Wars, chat. Elevated horror. That's what I was thinking of. That highfalutin horror. But elevated horror. Easy and Scream are both great, too, says Casfat. Why do you keep calling it elevator? Because that's what, isn't that no, I'm saying elevated horror. Elevated horror. Only elevator horror? No, I'm saying elevated. Listen, Chad, I have an accent and it comes out. Elevated horror. When I say it fast, elevator horror, it sounds like I'm saying elevator. But elevated horror. Donnie Darko, sure. That's another one. Firewolf, I got to get some sleep tonight, guys. Catch you later, Firewolf. No problem at all. Get you sleep. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Appreciate you. Cheers and salute. Yeah, we're another drink in a bit, chat. I'm thirsty. But now we can move on to Vanny's next question. He has a TV question for us, chat. Persona 5 has a character named Morgana that is a talking cat that can turn into a van. Yeah, it's weird. That being said, you also had our fair share of talking animals in TV shows. Salem and Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Brian and Family Guy, and Mr. Ed and Mr. Ed. What are your thoughts on the trope itself? I think the character of the talking animal in these sitcoms, in these animated shows, though a part of the family, I think is often portrayed as an outlier and a voice of reason within the family. Like, they can be, I think, like the audience avatar character that comment on the absurd things that are happening because they are absurd in nature because they are a talking animal. And I feel like that's why we so often see the Brian Griffin. Like, Brian is changed over time. Like, all those characters have changed in Family Guy. But initially, Brian was that. He was that voice of reason. He was super sardonic. He had a very droll sense of humor. He was very much Seth MacFarlane. That's what his character was. And I think over time, they kind of turned him into like just a liberal douchebag. I think that's what they eventually became, which is kind of disappointing. Because I like that Brian was just the sensible one. He had common sense, and he would just comment on the ridiculous, stupid shit that Peter or Stewie or other characters were doing. And he'd be the voice. He'd be us. He'd be us watching this and going like, "You're an idiot for trying to do this." And I really like that. I feel like that is a common thing we've seen across the board of all sorts of animated shows. The talking animal, who is the most absurd thing, and yet more frequently than not, they are the voice of reason in these animated things. The goldfish, yeah, the goldfish in American Dad, like that's his function. And I think that's cool that we see this. I mean, it's a common trope. I don't mind it. I think anything that annoys me is when that character is then forced to be as ridiculous as the other characters within the show, because usually you can gravitate towards them. It's like, well, at least they fucking know what's going on, and they can, like, they have some sense. And sadly, for whatever reason, Brian eventually he becomes just as ridiculous and over the top as all those characters in Family Guy. And so I don't mind the trope. I think the trope is fun. I think it's fun. But it's often either just neglected eventually or forgotten. Brian's really Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, a liberal writer, atheist. Yeah, that's what he is. There's a scene where Brian was jacking off to this woman's Facebook push at a funeral of all things in a crucible, and she catches it. Yeah, in a cubicle. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. And and he became as ridiculous and disgusting and annoying as Peter or any of the other characters in that show. It was weird. You're right, like how the monkey from Umbrella. Yeah, the voice of reason. There you go. So often, Chad, that's a trope we don't think about, but it's like, oh shit, that is the truth. The most seemingly absurd-looking character in an animated show or whatever, or sitcom or something like that, that's personified or anthropomorphic, is oftentimes the smart one, is oftentimes the voice of reason. Nibbler, there we go, another great one. Nibbler and Futurama, it's same fucking thing. Same thing. Yeah. I think they just wanted to make Brian less like Seth, but now he has less. Yeah, he has less charm. I think he has less charm. It's like, I see what you're commenting on. He's the, he's being used as like, okay, he's the liberal douchebag. He's that guy that's like, oh my God. And he never is, he says this thing, but he doesn't, he can talk the talk, but he can't walk the walk. Like, that's what Brian is. Yeah. Norm Macdonald nailed that trip. Yeah, and Mike, yeah, he voiced the pigeon, right? He voiced the pigeon in Mike Tyson Mysteries. So you got where the fuck season 3 of Orville, man? Who knows that's going to happen? We'll see. I know that he has been trying to get that made because I know he's passionate, but I know he loves Star Trek. Trope, I see what you're saying. Porkchop didn't talk, but that dog always had his shit together in Doug. Sure, yeah, exactly. And the character doesn't even necessarily need to talk. It's just through their, they could be through their physical actions or maybe like the expression on their face, like the rolling of the eyes, and because they know what's happening. Yes, I think so. Nibbler was next level troll when you look back in older episodes knowing that he had cognitive thinking and was fucking with them whenever he acted. That's true, and just eating everything and shitting everywhere. I was like, what the fuck, you little shit? You can talk. It's true. Futurama is so goddamn funny. Gonna be Roger Jackson in a con. That should. Oh, what should I have him sign? Oh man, Dark. I don't know. I mean, whatever you. I mean, the movie itself. Maybe the cover of your Blu-ray copy or whatever. If you have it for. That's what I would have him sign. Maybe a poster. Frame it. Yeah. Ghostface mask. So he technically has his shot. Yeah, shit together. That's true. Yeah, that's right. Snoopy's another example of that. Snoopy is he has many abilities. He has many skills. He is extraordinarily dismissive of his owner, Charlie Brown. He does not respect him, and he's typically viewed as the most mature, intelligent character in that show, despite not saying a word. Again, a trope on full display, chat. It's a common thing. Yeah, especially know what the fuck is up. It's kind of like they're that in real life too. Your dog knows when shit ain't right. They got that feeling, and I think that maybe that's why and that's what kind of what I was leaning into. It's the fact that the dog or whatever, the cat, they're able to talk, and that's ridiculous. But what grounds the fact that maybe this is how they get away with it. What grounds the fact that they have a talking animal character in a show or in a movie or in a animated sitcom is that they are the voice of reason. They are the audience. They're the ones that are comic. I think that's how it works most of the time. Colonel usually says fart. That's fair. That's fair. And they also fart too. Yeah, so it's a very good question. It's a very good question. But moving on from that. We can go to our video game question from Vanny Chat. I am wearing the black shirt. I'm wearing a nice little black. It's kind of like super, I guess it is kind of black, super dark gray sweater. It's pretty nice. Wore it the other day too. But we can move on to the video game question, chat. The Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series are some of the last turn-based RPGs out there, besides indie titles. Do you think the turn-based system is relic from a bygone era or an unfortunate casualty, excuse me. Unfortunate casualty of modern gaming's trend for more action-based titles? I feel like there's still a niche for turn-based combat because, these franchises still continue on. They sell extraordinarily well. There's other ones like them or similar to them, but I do think that turn-based combat has been abandoned for most mainstream games. Not saying that Persona 5 or whatever Shin Megami Tensei aren't as good as those games. They absolutely are, for various reasons. But, they service a very passionate niche audience that are going to buy them and buy them no matter what. And they're always going to be able to make money off of those people. But in terms of the mainstream audience, I feel like that's just kind of gone the way of the dodo. It's out the door now. We don't see it. Like, there are a couple of exceptions, but again, I feel like they're made for a niche. Like, you have, you still have strategy game enthusiasts where they have turn-based combat, of course, or like something like XCOM, which is turn-based combat. So you're always going to have these games, but they're not going to proliferate as they had done so in the 90s. Or in the early 2000s when you saw a lot of them. I feel like maybe it's the kind of situation where the market was just was saturated with so many titles, people just grew bored of it. But yeah, we'll still keep seeing them. But yeah, I don't think I don't think you're ever gonna come back in like a lot of mainstream titles. I'm very interested to see because that Marvel's Midnight Suns game is one. The fact that it's a Marvel license, that's huge. But it's gonna be turn-based combat and card combat, which will be very interested to see how they're going to do that. We got Wasteland Da Vinci Original Sin. So these, there are like big games that exist within that sphere, but I don't know if it'll ever go outside of that sphere again and try to attract like a bigger mainstream audience. Those games will always do very well, and they deserve all the accolades that they get. But thank you, Jason, for the 10 minutes. Good evening to you. Yeah, but I don't think they're not dead. I don't think they're dead. Yeah. There are still turn-based RPGs. There are more popular indie RPGs called Bug Fables where you play as a cute bug in paper. Oh, that's right, Paper Mario World. Square is doing triangle strategy, but is made for that. I think it's made for that, and that's to say that like this audience is still substantial. It's still big. These people are still buying these games. Yeah. This goes on. There's some good ones. Yakuza's turn-based RPG. Yeah. Marvel Buff Nerd, good to see you. Welcome. Fire Emblem comes to mind. That's another one. Yeah, Fire Emblem comes to mind. That game is known for its turn-based gameplay, and I can't see it changing. I don't think it's going to change. I don't think these series are going to change. Like, I don't think Wasteland's going to change. I don't think XCOM's going to change. I don't think, like, Civilization or whatever or what have you, these are going to change. These are going to keep, because people want these. This is how they want these games. And they're going to keep making those, So, yeah. They'll keep going. But it's a good question. And now, chat, we have two more questions. The penultimate question from Vanny. Have a Revan question just directed at me. One of the reasons why Persona 5, its popularity is niche. Like when I was younger, I recall some friends saw these dope StarCraft cutscenes and let down when they saw the game. Yes, sir. Imagine they having a bit of trouble with younger generations. Exactly. Like they're definitely appealing to that older generation that really love that turn-based combat. And I'm one of those people. I still love turn-based combat. Believe me, Chad. I don't want to speak ill of turn-based because I still like it. I grew up with a lot of those turn-based games in whether it be something like Civilization or something like Final Fantasy. I think it's cool. But now we'll move on to this next question, chat. One of the reasons why Persona 5 has been considered a modern classic is that the bonds you form with your fellow heroes / classmates feel so genuine. Oftentimes, as we grow up, we lose contact with our school friends. Personally, I haven't spoken to most of my school friends in years due to moving and just growing up. How about yourself? Do you still keep in touch with any of your schoolyard chums aside from your sweet baby broccoli eating boy? Of course, yeah, Josh. Seventh Facade chat. I think Josh is the only one. I think of high school. I think Josh is the only one from there. Middle school, I don't remain in contact with anybody. College. Not even college chat. It's been a hot minute. Like, people, like, when I was still going to college, outside of college, I'd still remain in contact with some people. But, like, my last person I was remaining in contact with a lot in college, I don't think I've messaged him, like, in a year or something, ever since the pandemic, maybe. So it's been a while. So, yeah, for me, Chad, it's, Josh is the one and only. He's the one and only, Chad. J-Mar on air, good to see you. It has been a hot minute. Welcome back to the stream. Long time no see, indeed. Just doing a little Class in the Glass cast, a little Q&A right now. How about you guys? You guys remain in contact with anyone from high school or college still? Yeah, seriously, Chris, Persona 5 is so good. I have to play it. I'm obligated to play it. Play it once in your lifetime, man. One of the best games ever, in my opinion. I'll check it out. Persona 3 and 5 are great JRPGs that infuse a great bit of slice-of-life stuff into the gameplay story. Chris says, not a soul. Yeah. One day we'll get you on the Persona hype train. I'm gonna get there. I'm probably gonna play Persona 5 this year, Chad. Don't you worry. I know it's like you need like a spare 200 hours for that game, but I'll probably take breaks. Once in a while. But I'll definitely play it. College is very few and far between in terms of friends I've come to. I don't know. I mean, we're still growing up. We're still in I think the thing is when you're in high school or, and you have those friendships or whatever. In college, you have those friendships, but you're moving. You might go to different areas. So it's hard to stay in contact, Chad. A few people, but mainly online. Yeah, online. That's mostly how it is. Like, not in person. Like, even I haven't seen Josh physically since, 15 years? I don't think I've seen Josh, like, how long has it been? No, not 15 years. 12 years? 12? Going on 13 now, chat, possibly. So, like, in the flesh. It's been a long time. And the pandemic, definitely the pandemic caused me to fall out of contact with a lot of high school friends, but I met most of my best friends in college. 2 of them I still talk to almost every day. Yeah, I mean, I've met other people, like outside of college, became, just very, very close friends with. It's just, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I think it's just because we're always in motion and we're always like, hey, we're going to leave the state, go to college or something. We pursuing different degrees, and that's what inevitably happens, chat. Some people remain in contact with each other for years, for decades, and that's incredible. That's an amazing thing. Yeah. Oh, thanks for trying to pursue a commercial and imaging production for radio. What? J-Mar on air. That's awesome, man. That's really fucking cool. Congratulations. Hope that's going well. Pleasure to have you. Witness! Witness me! Thank you! Razzy's Flame. Thank you so much. Razzy is Flame. Appreciate that very kind raid. How you doing tonight, my friend? Ooh-wee. Look at everybody. Look at this Razzy raid. I love it. Shiro, good to see you. Pleasure to have your TT Darks. As far as I'm concerned, Josh, the figment of, no, he's real. He's real to me, damn it. Mom Moth, welcome. It's a Razzy Ray time. The camper is coming to you. Razzy, what were you streaming? What was on your docket for today? What were you playing? No Name Woman with the 10 bitty donation. Thank you, No Name Woman. Hello to you. My heart's a pitter-pattering. Oh, my Lord. Doing great, dude. Nice. I was going good. Doing a Q&A right now. It's called Class in a Glass Cast. Before you ask them to sass, where I read my very generous patrons' Patreon questions. Had a nice question about if you've remained in contact with friends in high school or in college or something. And I can only say for one person, but I haven't seen them in, like physically in 12 or 13 years. It's been a while. But online, social media has made it easier. It has made it easier doing it that way. Whereas back in it, probably very difficult. Was doing a podcast with... I see. Doing a podcast with Vanny. Well, thank you for rating me. Very nice. That was awesome. So much sass here. For those you don't know, my name is Mr. Revan7. Also go by Chris. Also go by Juicy. I'm a man of many names. I do movie reviews. I do tune reviews. I do TV reviews. I do watch parties. I play the video game single player and of the multiplayer variety. Like I said, just doing a Q&A right here. It's been pretty fun tonight. We've had some really good questions. Matter of fact, I'm in the middle of answering Vanny's questions right here. It's been good. Honorable Valverde, my best friend, and I have stayed in contact for 17 years and still live in the same town. Friends since that's amazing, man. Yeah, that's a rare thing. That's pretty goddamn cool. Look, boss, it's hard staying friends with people. I have had people try and set me up. I saw an old friend years ago, and he threatened to kick my ass. Whoa, some grimy ass people. Damn, I'm sorry. I haven't had that situation, thankfully. Speaking of which, BRB going to lurk and do some post-stream. No, do your thing, man. No, do your thing. No problem at all. Thank you for sending your people my way. It was very kind of you. Chat, check out Razzy's. Razzy is Flame. Go ahead and do it. Get the campfire going. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. How close are you to partner? Oh, J-Mar, if you don't mind me asking. I'm getting closer. My viewership has often remained in the 50s most of the time. And I need to maintain that 75 average viewership, which is very difficult to do. That's the last thing I need to do. I need to maintain it for like a month, able to qualify for partner. So I'm hoping that this year I'll finally be able to hit a chat sometime in 2022. But we shall see. We shall see. It'll be my 4th anniversary coming up as a Twitch streamer very soon. Very, very soon, chat. So hopefully sometime this year I'll be able to do it. What about games of the Omniplayer variety? I don't know what that is. It's scary. It's all encompassing. I'm still friends with people I met in middle school 8 years. That's amazing. Oh yeah, well you're still young. You're still a young man, so that makes sense. Yeah, once you get into your late 20s, let me know. Chris, believe me, this person who threatened to kick my ass was and probably still is a very mature person. They are lucky I was working them out. Damn, that's fucking weird. That's really fucking. They sound like a very immature Asshole. Asshole. Chris is definitely brilliant, but lazy. Lazy? A little bit. It depends. Sometimes I need a day to relax, no doubt. But hey, 75. Let's keep it at that 75, chat, the entire time for the next, 2 hours. That'd be great. But now we can move on to Vanny's last question. It is a music question, chat. The soundtrack for Persona was an outstanding mix of J-rock and jazz, which I did not expect. Has there ever been a game that introduced you to a genre of music you might otherwise never listen to? For example, I never listened to opera, but the iconic opera scene, Final Fantasy VI, got me listening to some for a while. My youth, that's great fucking scene. I love the music in that. Yeah, chiptune music. Chiptune music, which, I wouldn't never have listened to had it not been for video games. She had a lot of classic games on that NES, on that SNES, that specific era, chat. Stuff like from the Mega Man. I love the Mega Man chiptune music. Takashi, I don't know how to say his name. Takashi Tadishi, I think that's how you say his name. One of the best chiptune artists of all time. I'll actually show you some of his work right now, chat. But I'm always listening. I'm listening to this in the background. As you know, I'm addressing my musical ignorance this year. I'm actively going to be trying to do that, chat, with a music show. We're going to be setting that up very, very soon. But you might be familiar with his Mega Man themes. And I'm a huge fan of them, chat. Let me get that open. Mega Man, was it 2? Wily's theme? Is it Mega Man? I think it's Wily's stage. Wily Stage 2? I'm trying to remember if this is the one. Oh, is this it? I'm trying to remember I think this is it. I think this is it. Let me see. I don't think this is it. It's pretty good, though. No, it's not. Where is it? Is it Mega Man 3? Oh, is it Wily Stage 2? Shit. I'm trying to remember which one it is, chat. Damn it. Mega Man. Maybe it's Mega Man 3. Wily Stage 1. Is that what it is? Maybe it's Mega Man 3. Hold on. I'm trying to remember this, chat. No. It's close. No, maybe it's stage 2. Ah, here it is. It's stage 2. Mega Man 3 Wily's stage 2, Fortress 2. So goddamn good, Chef. Yeah, this is the real shit. This is the real fucking shit, Chef. Yes, that's my shit right there. Yes. Oh, Darkslayer. So you know chiptune, but you confuse Eddie Murphy for Michael Jackson. It happens to everybody. Oh my God. Are these considered 8-bit crumbs? Indeed they are. 8-bit game, 8-bit crumbs. Makes sense, right? Bat Boy, Sonic Adventure, and Sonic Adventure 2 made me the rock and metal fan that I am today. I have to admit this, but I still sing the songs from those games. That's awesome, Bad Boy. No, it's cool. Video games can influence our taste in music. There's some great video game music, as you guys know. But yeah, no, chiptune was, because I've listened to a lot of video game soundtracks, but they're more orchestral. But there's some great chiptune stuff from the, the NES, SNES era, from those 80s and 90s titles, chat. Some amazing things. And by everybody, you mean nobody except me. Exactly. You know what I'm saying. Legendary Dragoon soundtrack. I mean, Chrono Trigger has some great ones. Final Fantasy's chiptune music is great, chat. You're back for saying, but Chris, you and I had the best Among Us matches. We did? Oh, yeah, man. That was really good. We're going to play some Among Us in a bit. That'll be fun. That'll be really, really fun. Yeah, Persona 5 soundtrack is good. We're going to play Persona 5, chat. I'm excited about it. Crush 40 is a Sonic band. They made all the best rock songs for the Sonic games. There's a lot of big fans of the Sonic soundtracks. Yeah, I understand that. I get that. Yeah. But yeah, just for me, Chad, I'm a chiptune music. That's the answer, Vanny. Exposed me to a lot of chiptune music, not only Mega Man, but also, in Metroid, of course, and Castlevania, and The Legend of Zelda. There's some really good chiptune stuff. And just like some other people just making their own versions on YouTube. You can find out their channels. There's some really good stuff out there, chat. Oh, remember that time Chris confused someone or something with Rick Ross, damn it. Oh, did I? I don't think, did I do that? I don't think so. I don't recall. But now, Chad, I think that is the last of Vanny's questions. Vanny, thank you so much, good sir, for being a Juicy Game subscriber on the Patreon. Thank you for your patronage. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah, Shovel Knight's music. Oh, Shovel Knight's great. Shovel Knight has that chiptune stuff, too. And now, Chad, we'll get to the last question, and I believe this is from Thunder Lee. Let me make sure that this is Thunder Lee, Jacob Graves, Chad. He has the last questions of the evening. After he finishes his question, we'll play a little bit of that Among Us. It should be fun. Then we'll start off with this one, chap. Trover Saves the Universe is one of the most hilarious games I've played in a while. The game is by the same people who did Rick and Morty. Yes, that's right. What's his name? Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon. Trover Saves the Universe has funny, awkward moments that catches you off guard. Any moment it gets. What game has the same amount of awkward, funny moments you enjoyed? I mean, there's a couple ones that come to mind immediately because, Trover, I mean, it's very much that Rick and Morty humor. It's a little mean-spirited. It's over-exaggerated. It's violent. It can be gross. And I'm going to think of, like, some other games that have made me laugh out loud that I've played. The South Park RPGs come to mind, chat. Stick of Truth and The Fractured Butthole. Well, those are great. Those had shocking moments, disgusting moments. I mean, inappropriate ones, but that's South Park, as it should be, Chad, as it should be. And they both did it, and they both did a great job. It's probably some of the best South Park content of all time, some of the best South Park stories of all time in that game, where you get to create your own little boy, or your own little character, chat in South Park, and you go on an adventure. One is kind of medieval theme, the other one's more superhero theme, which I think is pretty cool. I recommend both those games, chat, and you will laugh many times playing that title. Both titles, chat. They lead right into each other. I think it's great. Another one, it's old, been a while, but I was actually watching some clips recently of another streamers, and that's Conker's Bad Fur Day. That rare game where it's like, hey, it's like Banjo-Kazooie, except it's extraordinarily inappropriate, and you fight a literal shit monster called the Great Mighty Pooh, and you have a female flower who's got big old bazoongas, and you got to have her inseminated by a big horny bee. It's ridiculous. It's bloody. It's gory. It's inappropriate. It's sexist. It's probably a little racist. It's all of that. But that's also the point of the game. Conker's Bad Fur Day. There are definitely some inappropriate, awkward moments in that game. And lastly, Tales from the Borderlands, chat, which is a game I think a lot of people dismiss because it's like Telltale's doing a Borderlands spin-off game. But wow, what a incredible thing. It's probably, other than maybe Borderlands 2, it's my favorite Borderlands game, where the whole premise is it follows like really two characters in their stories and how they connect with each other. You have Reese, who is this corporate, stooge working for Hyperion, the company that Handsome Jack controlled in Borderlands 2. And you have this con artist, Fiona, who's trying to steal this thing from Hyperion. And it's these two people meeting each other and their respective characters meeting each other and interacting and going on this grand adventure. And you also deal with a AI, Handsome Jack. It's a great series, and it's very funny, and it's irreverent, and it's inappropriate and awkward at times. And I think it's great. I highly recommend checking out Tales from the Borderlands. I'm going to play that. That's one of the few Tales games I've not played on stream. I've done all the Walking Deads. I've done A Wolf Among Us. And I've also done the Batmans, but I've not done that one. And I really, really love that game. Tales of the Borderlands was a surprise for me. With freaking great. Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised. Like, oh, Borderlands, come on. But then I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. It's so fucking funny how they use music, too. It's very... I think if I had to explain it to someone who's unfamiliar with the game, or at least the tone, if it's not coming across, very James Gunn. It's very James Gunn-esque, like Guardians or the Suicide Squad. It has that kind of tone. It has that kind of irreverent violence that I think you might like. The music in the game, the soundtrack is top fucking notch, indeed. J-Mar, what's your favorite game in your opinion using Unreal Engine? Did Mass Effect 2 use the Unreal Engine? I feel like it did. I don't think that's Frostbite, right? I don't think if they used Frostbite. Yeah, Mass Effect 2. Bro, thank you so much for resubscribing 18 months on a 4-month streak. Thank you so much, Ro. How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing very well. I think they made that on Unreal 3, if I recall. Yeah, that looked pretty good at the time. I mean, it's probably dated now. The Legendary Edition looked nice. Hope they do Season 2 one day. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping. I mean, we're going to eventually get that Wolf Among Us Season 2. So we'll see. We'll see, Chad. I hope so. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach isn't raunchy, but it's probably the funniest game I've played in a long time. Yeah, no, Metal Gear Solid, they got some awkward funny. A lot of diarrhea jokes. Especially in the fourth one. What's his name? Always getting fucking diarrhea. It's like, what the hell's going on? What the hell's happening? A lot of poop and fart jokes in Metal Gear Solid 4. I was like, okay, I don't need this. But yeah, Jeff, I had to say awkward, funny moments in South Park RPGs, Conker's Bad Fur Day, which I will play someday on stream. I played the South Park RPGs. You can check that out on my YouTube channel. I got to play Conker's Bad Fur Day. I got to play Tales from the Borderlands. Conker's I'm a little concerned about playing. Because, it's going to be, the humor and everything they have in there, the offensive shit. That's just how the game is. But the controls, I'm not looking forward to playing. I sure don't think that has aged well at all. But we'll find out. And this is Thunderly's next question. Do you think it's long overdue to have a Batman horror movie or game? We've had, horror moments in Batman movies or in Batman games. Famously in the Arkham series, all the Scarecrow sections. Those are typically horror-focused. And, there's already something very naturally creepy about Batman's Rogues Gallery in Gotham City itself. And we've had, moments where, a lot of Batman's, rogues, they use, psychologically mind-altering drugs. Witness me, Mr. Hummendinger. Look at all these raids tonight, Chad. Oh, my God, Mr. Hummendinger. Julian, thank you for the very kind raid. Good to see you. I hope you're doing very well, my friend. What was on your docket for today? What were you doing? Oh, Goose Game. That's another good one, Darkness. Yeah, Goose Game was fun. Oh, just Clayface in a Batman movie? That'd be awesome. I'd love to see Clayface and do more of the more of the exaggerated villains. Sure, their power set. Nia Brownie. Oh, she be twerking. Good to see you too, Nia Brownie. Newsy Ducky's in there as well. No, thank you, Mr. Hummendinger. What you guys played? I played Far Lone Sales. Oh, okay, never heard of it. Nice. That Killer Crocodile was good horror. Yeah, no, there's some good sections. There's some horror moments, I think, in Batman games and Batman movies and, various adaptations and stuff. But I don't know, a straight Batman horror game. Not that it can't happen, but they're always going to get, those kind of horror moments, dipper tones into that genre. You better sing your fucking song. I'll sing the song tonight. Yes. You got to provide the lyrics, though. Maybe before we transition to some Among Us, I'll sing that song, Chad. It'll be fun. Very, very fun. Nicolas Cage's Clayface, that'd be perfect. You can eat a peach for hours. I'd love that. Yeah, I think sections in a Batman game or in a movie are fine. I don't need the whole thing to be straight horror. I don't want to, just pigeonhole it with that. It can be multiple things. And now we got another question from Thunder Leecha. What are the worst subjects you learned in school and why? Maths, because they're hard. Maths, because they're hard, shit. Listen, I didn't go to school to be trained as an engineer, so what am I going to learn about the depth of the fucking pool? I didn't need to know that shit. I don't need to know none of this and the hypotenuse and the median. And it's well, just tell me how to do taxes. Tell me how to do taxes, okay? Tell me how to calculate a tip. And I figured this out outside of goddamn school. The maths. I didn't like the maths, shit. Brownie, wowie, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Harmony, for the 15 minutes. What do you think about the horror Dragon Ball game coming out? I didn't know about that game. There's a horror Dragon Ball game? People were telling me about a new Dragon Ball game. I didn't know it was horror. I was unaware of that. Simply Carly, good to see you back, Simply Carly. It's been a hot minute. How are you doing? Look at all these amazing people, chat. August, thanks to the 30 biddies. Appreciate it. Oh, my Lord. Geometry is legit, not physics. Oh, physics, chat. Hated physics. Hey, math, especially when they had to use it in chemistry. Yeah, oh, yeah, that sucked. No, I hate all that bullshit. So I'm good. A bit drunk and lonely. How so? Oh, well, no. I'm gonna entertain you, serenade you, and woo you. It's the least I can do. An absolute pleasure to have you here. I'm just doing a Q&A, just doing Class in a Glass Cast, answering my patrons, my very generous patrons, Patreon questions, giving them thick, girthy, well endowed, curvaceous, robust answers. The least I can do. Least I can do. So it's a pleasure to have you here, Carly. Thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm starting to feel a bit lonely. We're gonna change that. You got me to affiliate, so hey, now here's the least. Oh no, they're very happy to get you to affiliate, Carly. Are you streaming right now? Have you been streaming recently? Let me know. I want to send you some more support your way because you do. Zippy Carly's fantastic, chat. Check out her content. She's great. She's awesome. Oh my Lord. But yeah, we're gonna. So what's the question I got? Oh yeah, maths, the physics. No, thank you. No, thank you, Chad. I don't like that kind of stuff. And this is a good question. I've been asked this before. What are some side missions in games that annoy you the most? Time missions. I hate being under a time limit. It makes me nervous. It makes me anxious. Just let me play the game how I want to fucking play it. Let me do things on my own accord, okay? I don't like time missions. Fetch quests. I don't like fetch quests unless it's like, unless we're getting a MacGuffin. We're getting a MacGuffin, okay? But there's a lot of character-based stuff along the way. Interacting with my squad mates, that kind of thing. Learning about them as people. Like Mass Effect, I think, does that well. Witness me! All these raids. Red Wing, thank you so much for the incredible support. Thank you. How you doing? How you doing there, Red? What were you streaming on? What was on your docket? No Name Woman, thank you for the 5 biddies. Testing. Thank you, No Name Woman. Thank you for the generosity. Oh, my Lord. Somebody calling not this guy. I've been going through a bunch of mental stuff. Gotcha, but playing on game back. Good. Well, you let me know when you're coming back, and I'll give you some support. You know that. It's the least I can do. No, happy to have you here, Carly. Thank you. Thank you, Name for the 5 biddies as well. Asymmetric game, Dragon Ball the Breakers. You were hunted by the tall green monster man on DBZ. Oh. Fucking Cell? Piccolo? Mr. Piccolo! Interesting. Oh, yes, please do refresh. As Cat's Face said, please do refresh your browsers. Would appreciate that. Chat, it would mean a lot to me. Vandy says, okay, I'm here. Start over. Oh, no. It's so many questions, though. And provide such girthy, well-endowed, curvaceous, robust answers. But yes, we're on Thunder Lee's question right now. And he's asking, what are some of the side missions games that annoy you the most? Time missions. I don't want to be under the fucking gun. Fetch quests. Unless I'm doing a lot of character interactive stuff or learning more about the world. If it's just me going out to find fucking 5 sheep pelts, then no thank you. I don't want to go out in World of Warcraft and, okay, you found 5 wolf pelts. Now go bring me 10 wolf pelts. Okay, you did that. Now go bring me 25. Fuck, man. How many wolf pelts do you need? Just tell me how much you need because you can't send me out there. Ugh, I hate it. I hate that shit. Escort missions, chat, are the worst. Especially if you're dealing with just dumbass AI. That's bad. The Dead Rising, the initial Dead Rising games, they had some of the worst escort missions ever. Like in Dead Rising 1 and 2. That was rough. And just, not really side missions, but just levels, water levels. Don't like the water levels, chat, because they come at a midpoint during the game or past the 2/3. And you're like, I'm used to these controls, and now you're suddenly forcing me to be underwater, and I don't understand these controls, and I'm confused. Water levels, chat, you pick. Zelda, the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time. Fuck that bullshit. I don't like it. Paper Mario had a bullshit fetch quest with you delivering a chain letter to different people over the world, all for a badge. And it's never worth it, too. It's never worth it. Dead Rising was giant. That's why I like the later Dead Rising games. Dead Rising 3 and 4 I thought were much better. But all the Dead Rising fans were like, we want to make it all escort missions again. It's like, no. And it was time, too, and I hated that. Oh, I hated that bullshit. 25 silver wolf pelts. Winfox, my favorite class in school was always history and English. Those are maybe the mean Lord. Oh, Lord Slug from Dre's Lord Slug coming back. Oh wow. Yeah. So because also everyone in this chat right now is worthy of love and friendship, and if you ever feel differently, feel free to DM me. Oh, look at that. That's a very kind message, Cindy Carly. Very nice. Very nice. Hey, escort missions only because the MPs, they walk so goddamn slow. Agreed. Sewer levels suck too, yeah. These are just not visually interesting about, anything about them. Unless it's like a horror-esque setting. That's fine. What else is seen? Any side mission Mass Effect games you don't like? Yeah, Mass Effect 1, you got to go down planets and you have to, explore these kind of empty worlds. Didn't care for that. I actually like the planet scanning, but in 2 and 3. Actually, it was perfected in 2. It was great in 2. But I don't like having to go to these kind of that's my one big criticism against Mass Effect 1 is that you have these big open maps, but there's really nothing in them, aside for a few collectible stuff. So definitely that. Didn't care for that all that much. Element, yeah, history and English for me too. Those are so fun. So fun. Chris is having Ashley RE4 PTSD. Leon! Get in the trash, Ashley. You're trashly. Get in the trash, girl. It's where she belongs. Literally, that's where she belongs because you got to put her in the trash or they'll take her. They'll take her away off the map and you got to restart. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ashley, all the escort stuff with her. It's like, I love Resident Evil 4 chat, but Jesus fucking Christ of Ashley. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Motion control. Same, Matt Boy. Same. Mass Effect 1 filler is such a waste. Yeah. The filler, like those filler plans. Don't like that at all. What better class is there than tax accounting? Oh, God. I don't like the sound of that at all. Newsy Ducky says my favorite class is recess and lunch. Those are good classes. Those are good classes. Rose says, I love Scan and Metroid Prime. Ryuji, Chris, have you ever played a game called Spectacles? I have. I've not played it on stream, but I have played it. It's a great game. I will play it someday on stream. That'll be a good one. I think I have to play that on stream. I think I'm obligated. We're gonna play Among Us. Oh, we're gonna be playing Among Us in just a bit. We have one more question. We have one more question, Jeff. You see, Chris, attacks math teachers me. What else do you want from me? I'm sorry. I hope they don't make Ashley annoying. I hope that's one of the things they really do change. They need to. They need to make her a likable character or competent. Or strip out all the escort bullshit. I don't want to deal with that. I hope that's not in there. We'll find out. I love history. Where in the world's Carmen Sandiego was my favorite. Oh, the show. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the show. That's right. But we can move on to, this is the final question of the night, chat. Final question of the night from Thunder Lee. Why did Rockstar think adding Riddler into the Batman Arkham games was a good idea? So I don't mind Riddler being in those games. If anything, if I had a criticism, it's just he's just there to be the collectible guy. You know, I actually like his riddles. Like the riddles, that should have been the only collectible in the games. Like you should have had it where I have 40 fucking riddles in the game or whatever it was, and you have to solve those, and that's fine. The trophy bullshit, I hate the fucking trophy bullshit. He has like 200 in each game, or in Arkham Knight. I built these elaborate Hot Wheels-esque tracks, under subterranean tracks for the Batmobile for you to complete. Like, I hate that shit. Like, I like Riddler as a villain. Very excited to see Paul Dano play him in The Batman. I think that's going to be great. More mystery angle. But I would have preferred if it was more of like a long-term mystery with him in those games. Or had it just been there. Because I like the riddles. That's a cool collectible. Those are fine. The 40 or so that are in. But then there's all that other extra bullshit I don't need. There's about 600 in Arkham. There's so many. Just give me like the 40 regular riddles to solve like around that big map or whatever. And a story with him. That would have been much better instead of the collectible thon. Yeah, so they misused him in that way. Yeah, the riddles were great. They were. I thought they were very fun. They also hinted at Batman lore and stuff. They were great. Like those riddles were perfect. Like in Asylum, I thought they did a really good job with that. What is the price for your blind eye? Yeah, it's creepy. I think Paul Dano's going to kill it, chat. I'm very excited. He seems to be very inspired by Zodiac, the Zodiac Killer. When the first game was fine for me, other games I didn't bother, but he should. No, in Night, I was like, all right, fuck this. And the only way you can truly capture and beat him is if you get every fucking Riddler trophy, you beat every fucking track, you just solve all the riddles, and I'm just like, I ain't doing this. I was like, no. Nope. No, thank you. I don't like it. So, very excited to see what they're going to do with him in the new movie. But yeah, I feel like Rocksteady mishandled him as they went deeper into the series. I would have preferred, like, again, just, hey, have his 40 riddles. I like collectibles in games that actually give you something, and it's not just there to be collected for an achievement. Like, no, have this collectible actually be, like, presentable, and it improves my stats or something. That's fine. It gives me experience or some way, or it's a cool lore thing. Like the riddles were a cool lore thing because it hints at all these other Batman characters and storylines, and those were cool. But the fucking Riddler trophies don't add anything. Another example of a cool little collectible. I mean, there's so many, but like in the Fallout games, in Fallout 3, you collect these bobbleheads, and they're scattered around this huge map. And once you collect it, it gives you like 10 points in a specific stat. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And if you get like the Fallout, I forget what it is, the Vault Boy stand, then all the bobbleheads stay there, and they're all different. So I was like, oh, cool. So it's like a visual thing. I can also see them, but they also improve your character as well, which I like. That's the kind of shit I like. I like those collectibles a lot, where they give you something and you can see them, you know, like within the world. Nightmare sees 90 smiles. Yes, the colors on Doom were fun. I like that. The little Doom buddies, the little like these little bro fist. Like that's kind of funny. Yeah, stuff like that. Stuff like that I really do prefer. I don't like collectibles just to be there and just like, oh, it's a thing I need to do. It's just to extend gameplay. I mean, they're all naturally there to extend gameplay. That's fine. But have them have, or some of the best collectibles, chat, in Spider-Man 2018 game, and also in Miles Morales, where you're going around the map and you're collecting like the backpacks in the first one, and it's all hinting at certain things from the story or other characters that Spider-Man has come across or fought. Like there's hints at Sandman and Mysterio and Lizard in those games. It's like, that's really cool. I love that. So more of that, please. It adds to the story. And there's even stuff like you found. I found a backpack, and it was like Peter's dumpling recipe. And I was like, okay. And he's like, okay, be sure not to set them at this temperature, they'll burn. And then later in the game, he's making those same dumplings for Mary Jane in that cutscene. I was like, oh, it's so fucking cool. And I remember getting that. I was like, oh, it adds to the story. So I would like the collectibles to be more like that. So, you know, they were initially doing that with Riddler in the first like Arkham Asylum, but it got too much busy work. Too much busy work, chat. Give me 40 riddles to solve. I'm good. That's all I need. Doesn't even need me more than 41. They have getting stuff in Spider-Man. Yes, because you also get those things, and you are rewarded. You are rewarded with story, you're rewarded with lore, rewarded with character stuff, and suits and costumes. Did he make curry? Maybe it was curry. I forget it was dumpling and curry. Whatever. He made something. He made something, chat. Maybe he's making dumplings and curry. Yeah. But that brings an end to the questions. Thank you, Thunder Lee, for being a subscriber on the Patreon. Thank you again, Vanny Spheres. Thank you again, Stefan, Duck, and Henry, for your questions, chat. Really like nice variety of questions today. Very, very good. But now, my friends, we are going to switch it up. We're going to switch it up. We're going to be playing some Among Us. So get your tookuses on the Discord right now in that Among Us chat. I'm going to go ahead and just freshen up my beverage. So please entertain yourselves amongst yourselves, chat. I'll be right back.